Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Morning, everybody. You guys, we have a lot to cover again today. We're going to do a quick recap because there's so much stuff coming out, and then we're going to move on to the big stuff, what I consider the big stuff. So let's go. The working royal family is back out and about, and as Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal UK Armed Logistics, Princess Royal went to Cyprus this week. She met personnel who are serving with the United Nations Peacekeeping Force in Cyprus. Love the blue jacket with the red scarf. Then she went to officially open the Queen Berengaria School. I hope I said that right. She looked, again, phenomenal. And I know you guys know this, but I'm going to point it out anyway. She's been a spare for all her life. No issues. She was also received by the president. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. At the presidential palace. And she thanked the president for his contribution to the UK ties during his time in office. Next up, we have the Duchess of Gloucester, who was patron of Turn to Us for over 20 years, and she went and visited the charity in Dagenham to hear more about their work to provide practical support to people who are experiencing financial difficulties. Moving on, Mike and Zara Tyndall remain in Australia looking all cozied up and happy. These pictures were taken in an area of Australia called Byron Bay. Looks beautiful. After that, it looks like they returned to the stables ahead of, it's being reported, some sales of the horses. So apparently that's another thing that's going on while they're there. Everybody looks really nice. I really like this blue dress on Zara. Pretty. All right, here we go. The Prince and Princess of Wales went to a hospital today to thank the healthcare staff for their work during the winter months on their first public engagement of 2023. Now, I'm putting this up so you guys could see just how windy it was. Like, it was unbelievable. So I'm surprised they managed to hang on to their clothing. One of their roles today was to open the Royal Liverpool Hospital. That's what was being reported. Now, if Harry and Meghan were trying to kill their popularity, listen to this. The place was packed. People were standing on escalators trying to get a better look. Of course, William and Catherine both posed for selfies. Why not? They both said hello to the therapy dogs that were there. We all know how much they both love animals. They went around and do what royals do. Bring attention to the important stuff. They even at one point went to the critical care area and were asking questions if the new layout was helping with patient care and logistics. Now, when they were done there, William and Catherine went to a charity called Open Door. Now, this is a charity focused on supporting young adults across Merseyside with their mental health, and they use culture and creativity as the catalyst for change. Very nice. Now, while all that's going on, the King is in Scotland near Balmoral visiting, I hope I say this right, Aboyne and Mid Deeside Community Shed in Aberdeenshire. I just love the sound of bagpipes, don't you?
Everybody seems very pleased to see him. Interesting to feel.
So the King went, for instance, this is a perfect example. He joined a group that uses the workshop for wood and stone carving and discussed how those facilities help them feel more connected to their community while they're learning a new skill and meeting other people. This all takes place at a place called The Shed, which opened last October. It's a base for a number of local charities. They also help provide food, transport, and other services of those in need in the local area. King Charles, there was a little funny thing there because you know how when you go to leave, you sign the book? And Charles went to sign the book and couldn't remember what the date was. All right, let's move on. All right. Now, I told you before that Harry obviously has some severe mental issues, but there's a few statements that have come out that just really, for me, put his mental state into severe question. I want to say thank you to Johnny Boy for this. This just shows Harry's unhealthy obsession with his mother. Oh, wouldn't you know that their son toddled towards a photo in Tyler Perry's house, and it was Goddess of the Hunt Diana, and they told Tyler Perry, and everybody got the shivers. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm still waiting for Tyler Perry to respond to the fact that Harry used drugs in his house. You know, maybe he left some there. All right, we're going to go back now and look at all of the misinformation that was put out in that book. Really just a quick recap, okay? Here we go. Number one, he claimed Camilla leaked information to the press. We already found out that the incident he's talking about, the leak was done by Camilla's aide, who already apologized publicly for it, said she was ashamed about it, and she regretted her actions. Number two, he claims that William did not like the uniform and that he was forced to wear this red uniform at the wedding of him and Catherine. That, of course, now has been debunked by William's biographer. Absolutely not true. Number three, Harry claimed he really was not William's best man, and he did not give the best man speech, which we found out, again, untrue. It was a three-way speech with Harry emceeing it, so that is a flat-out lie. Number four, he was upset at the wedding of Charles and Camilla because he didn't want his father marrying her. However, there is video that we've seen that he was quite happy there, as well as people at the scene said he was very happy. Next up, he said Henry VI was his great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Actually, Henry VI had only one son, Edward of Westminster, who died as a teenager without any children. Next up, Henry claimed that he got an Xbox from his mother before her death in 1997. Of course, we know now that that's not possible. They were not on the market in Europe till 2002. Next up, Harry claims he goes to TJ Maxx for their once-a-year sale when they'd be flush with items. And of course, TJ Maxx came out and said, we don't do an annual sale. That is incorrect. Harry claims that Camilla suggested that Meghan and him become the Governor General of Bermuda, which would solve their problems. The thing is, Bermuda doesn't have a Governor General. Next up, he made a comment about the Queen Mother's funeral and the jewels that were on her coffin, saying that the 105-carat monster called the Koh-i-Noor, which is the largest diamond, was acquired, air quoting, by the British Empire. He basically suggested it was stolen. But it was presented to King Edward VII and cut with stones used in the crown jewels. You know, this is part of the problem. Some of this stuff is so easily debunked. Why didn't somebody Google this stuff? He said that when the Queen Mother died, he put in a passage about how he was at Eton and how the weather was warm and the sun was slanting through the windows, only to find out that he was in Switzerland skiing with his dad and his brother. On the Queen's death, he claims he found out because Meghan was texting him and he checked the BBC. We found out later on that was untrue. The King did not release the information until everybody had been notified. We have the part in the book where he claims that he told Thomas Markle, get on the plane. We have a first-class ticket booked and paid for you, but the airline doesn't operate between Mexico and the UK. We have the first date. Meghan said that she was wearing a blue dress and even had it sewed into her veil. Harry said that she was wearing black shoes, black shirt, and some jeans. We have the birth story where he claims that after an epidural, they put her in the water. That's absolutely not true. And she was discharged from the hospital 2 hours after delivery. If she'd had an epidural, I doubt she would have been able to walk. Then there was the whole thing about security. He claimed he had no idea they were going to pull the security. But right here in the book, in his own passage, he said that they said they were going to take his security. You know, we knew he was a bully. When this information came out, remember, this is in high school, middle school and high school, that he was making fun of one of his teachers that's crippled. Then it came out how he was making fun of a classmate. Then it came out that he was bullying. I mean, the man is a bully, guys. That's what he is. It came out about his staff, the things that he was saying and doing to the staff. But then it came out in his own writing that he was bullying his own security staff. Come on. And you guys should know that the palace staff members are sticking to their claims. Right. Then, of course, you have the whole Sarah Latham thing where they lied about when Meghan went into labor and he claimed it was Sarah that lied, not him. Guys, so many inconsistencies in this book. So what happens? You know, one of the biggest lies has to be the racism claim. Let's not forget, here's the actual transcript where Meghan said that Archie wasn't going to be given a title and there were concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be. And the world went nuts, calling the royal family racist. And then Harry went on one of these talk shows, I think it was the ITV with Tom Bradby, and said that it was the media who said it was racist, that neither he nor Meghan had claimed racism. And with that, I throw back at Harry exactly what he said. Silence is betrayal, because you knew what was being said and you and Meghan said nothing. Well, the ghostwriter who's responsible for this put up a thing on Twitter, a sign on Twitter that says the following. He wrote, "The line between memory and fact is blurry. Between interpretation and fact, there are inadvertent mistakes of kinds out the wazoo." Harry himself said that whatever the cause, my memory is my memory, and it does what it does, and it gathers and curates as it sees fit, and there's just so much truth in what I remember and how I remember it, as there is no so-called objective facts. Things like chronological and cause and effect are often just fables we tell ourselves about the past. In other words, he's admitting half of this may not be accurate. He's saying this is my truth, not the truth. Harry says, well, landscape, geography, architecture, that's just how my memory rolls. Dates? Sorry, I'll need to look them up. Dialogue? I'll try my best, but make no verbatim claims, especially when it comes to the 90s. So you admit to having a bad memory, and you admit that a lot in your book may not be accurate, and yet you don't care if the royal family gets taken down in the process. I mean, let's be honest, people. I think that's his goal anyway. I mean, even Ellie Hall, who's been known to work with Christopher Boozy, says it's worth noting that Harry says, even about the Xbox, he explicitly says he has no idea if that memory is true or not. Like, come on. One thing I know for sure, this headline is correct. Prince Harry's direct strike on Camilla has forever sealed his fate as an outsider. And I find it absolutely hilarious that while he's attacking the family and making all of these outlandish accusations, on the other hand, he's begging for reconciliation. I don't think he really wants to reconcile. You know, I don't. And the firm has now made it clear that based on what may come out in the paperback, because remember, there's going to be more pages in the paperback that weren't in the main book, depending on what's in those pages, no, you may not be at the coronation. Personally, I don't think they want him at the coronation now. I think he's pretty much done himself in anyway. That's just my opinion. Let me tell you, if they were hoping to get those titles for the kids at this point, they can forget it. Those titles will never happen. Now, to finish this off, I told you guys that Harry has an unhealthy obsession with his mother, and this is a perfect example. And I agree with Dominic here. This is a Freudian nightmare. He's talking about his frostbitten private parts, and here's what he says. So he was looking for home remedies for his frostbitten member, and a friend suggested he use Elizabeth Arden cream, and he goes, my mom used to use that on her lips. So he goes, oh my God, as soon as I opened the tube, I was transported. He said he felt as if his mother was right there in the room with him as he applied the cream to his private parts. You guys, this is a man who, by his own admission, has been doing drugs for 25 years. Mentally, I think he's fried. I really, really do. And I think he married a woman that instead of helping him is making his issues worse. She's feeding into it, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about it. I have no intention of reading that book. I think it's embarrassing. And then when you read the section where it says these things may not be accurate, it's essentially, this is my memory, this is my truth again, not the truth. I can't. You guys, this is a man who has sex with his wife, The problem is he believes his wife channels his dead mother. From the perfume that she wears, to the clothes that she copies, to the mannerisms that she copies, to the touching that his mother used to do. This man has severe psychological problems. That is what I got from the book. You guys, I truly believe that Harry has been ill the whole time, and I think the royal family did a really good job of covering for him. All right, I for one can just say that I'm very happy that the real working royals are back. I'm so happy to see them. You guys know what I want. Leave those comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. If you've already hit the button, double check and make sure you're still subscribed, because you might have been unsubscribed. It's a weird YouTube thing. Don't forget to go up into the description box and you'll see my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon. Don't forget, we're still doing a fundraiser for the month of January. Any money put in through the coffee fund will go to the charity. Any money put in through the thanks button comes to me. And as always, you guys, have a great day.